So the reason I decided to come to the school was to chase my automotive dreams and honestly just look cool.
Where'd the interest in automotive stem from?
It came out of nowhere because I played baseball my whole life and that came to an end and I just was lost for a little bit and fell in love with something new. And I just knew I had to figure out how to do what I love.
My interest for fabrication came from my father because he owns his own fab business. And I liked working on the race cars when I was younger and wanted to get into it when I got older. I knew I wanted to do this as a living since I was a little kid, racing the race cars that he used to build. I thought it was always interesting for me to be able to build the race car and then race the race car.
How did you find out about the fab school?
My dad came here. He was one of the first students when the school opened. He came here in '05, I believe it was.
So I went to mechanical engineering school to learn how to design and build stuff, but I wanted to be more involved in the actual hands-on building part of it. So the actual welding, the actual fabrication part of it. And so just found the school and did it. And I was already out of college, dropped out of college, so I figured this would be my best bet. Plus it was in California, so I got more sun that way.
Change, of course, in jobs. I just wanted something different, wanted to fall in love with what I'm doing. So I figured this would be a step in the right direction.
I've always been interested in off-road racing and just RZRs and all that stuff came out. I just wanted to be able to work on my own stuff that I have at the house.
I took this course because I wanted to learn and develop skills in fabrication, also design. I have a lot of projects that I want to do, build, and I want to do it myself.
My counselor told me to go to college to become a mechanical engineer. That was who built stuff. So I went there, and while I was there, I spent about 5 years in college learning this stuff, slowly doing a bunch of gen ed. Once the pandemic hit, that was the perfect opportunity for me to sort of step out of school for a while, take a break, kind of clear my head, reevaluate kind of my goals, how I was getting there, and all that kind of stuff. And eventually someone recommended the fab school. So I hopped online, checked it out, looked at the programs, which was like everything I wanted to learn bundled up in one course, and I said, hell yeah.
I'm taking this course because I wanted to do something more on the automotive side of welding. I come from a structural background, so automotive's always been my passion, so this school just seemed right.
Mainly to learn how to build off-road chassis and basically so I can just build something that I can introduce like, hey, I made this and I want to have fun in it. Instead of going to the store and spending like $10,000 on something I could just make at home.
There's a lot, honestly. There's aspects of all the courses that I really, really like. Like the chassis was a lot of fun, the tube bending, the art projects, welding in general was a lot of fun. You know, just being able to bend metal with my hands and manipulate things was very satisfying.
Body panel for sure. This last project we just wrapped up, that was definitely the most enjoyable. It kind of encapsulated all the skills that we've been doing up until now. I mean, we started off bending a tube and notching the tube and fitting it up, and then we welded that together, then we welded tabs onto it. And then we started doing the aluminum panel on it, so we got to bead roll that and got to, you know, fit it all up and stuff like that. And first time I ever got to use Zeus fasteners, so that stuff was always kind of interesting to me because I was poor, so we never had cool stuff like that, you know? We always had like hood pins you got from AutoZone, so it was cool to use, you know, real race car parts. And like I said earlier, that's the kind of stuff I want to build later on in the future for race cars and race trucks and pulling tractors and stuff like that. And so I definitely put a lot of time into it, and it came out pretty sweet, I think, so.
My favorite project would be the roll cage, because you had to learn a bunch of new different techniques, tube bending, notching, all that stuff. Working with Ian and Larry was real good, learning all that stuff.
Favorite project of this course is probably the roll cage. Yeah, that was definitely the funnest group project, working with everybody, just having a really good time. The roll cage project was a challenge, working with people, getting the design down, as well as bending and notching and having everything flow together well. Because if someone's working on one part while you're working on a different part, you have to make it all work. So that was a lot of fun.
Well, the vase really, because I got to learn how to properly do aluminum with a thinner material and how to bend it into certain ways to make it fit. And it's really cool.
Really enjoyed the roll cage, where we design and build the roll cage essentially from scratch with a cab shell. And so we would hand notch all the tubes because the fitting of them has to be so specific and the junctures of them have to be essentially all unique. And so it was really interesting to see how much metal to take off of the tube, because it was pretty thick tubing, and how much sanding would need to be done to just really finesse that shape to where it's strong enough.
It's tough. I actually enjoyed all of them, but I definitely enjoyed the group projects the most, just due to because everyone had a different amount of knowledge in the actual field, so it was another thing not to only learn from the instructors, but we were also learning off each other.
Probably the bead roll project, the door panel, I guess, door panel / bead roll, because we could weld a little bit, but I liked designing my own vision with the bead roll, I guess. That was cool.
My favorite project was the motorcycle chassis because we got so much free range with the motorcycle chassis, and we got to do it how we wanted to and didn't have to follow a blueprint or a rubric, which made it more fun because we got multiple ideas and put them all together into one.
So we're getting closer. Yeah, so now we have the notch right here. Okay. And then we just, once we notch right there, it can rotate in and allow us to rotate in.
How many bikes are you guys making in total?
As a classroom? 3. We got one right there, and they're all different styles, which is cool. Ours is like a chopper, there's just like a street bike. And there's just like an art, like beautiful art with the curves. It's cool.
Which one do you like the most?
That one.
Where'd the inspiration for this this bike come from?
I just wanted to build a race bike. Everyone builds a chopper, so I wanted to go a little different, make it a little more complicated. 3 pieces. This part, that part down there.
Huh? Which of the 3 bikes is your favorite so far?
If you can tell, they're all different. They're all like really different. We went with like I guess like a cafe racer Honda style, but honestly I like them all. They're all like really dope. Fucking really good looking bikes. They're all really different. So
After this, I'll probably be coming back in a couple weeks for their DDM program. I'm probably going to be looking for a part-time job in the industry, ideally in the off-road industry, and then go full-time in the off-road or firearms industry after this program's done, until I can save up enough money to start my own business in those industries.
Going back to New York, I got weddings to go to, but after that, I'd say right now I am applying and hopefully getting an interview with Lockheed Martin in New York. And if that all works out like it should, be working there for the next couple years, if not more.
So after the fab school, I'm probably going to end up trying to do aerospace, or I'm probably going to end up at a fabrication shop. But I'm definitely going to invest in some more knowledge, like automotive or maybe mechanical engineering.
Hopefully to get a job in a shop, which is I'm gonna be starting from the bottom and just working my way up and proving myself, and yeah, and hopefully do something big in the automotive world. For a long-term goal, I guess just be able to be on a huge team that has a lot of traction socially. I'm not saying I want to be in front of the camera, but to be able to have my, let's say, builds put out there, that'd be cool. Or in very serious rally races or drift competitions would be cool.
What's next for me is I'm going to be going into business with my dad, building off-road race cars and road race cars and all kinds of different things. The skills I learned here prepared me for going into business with him. I feel like I could learn a little more from him, having so much experience in the field. But I do believe I have the experience to keep up with him.
I'm looking for jobs currently. I have a few places in mind, but definitely start working and get a foot in the door in the industry. Specifically, I'm looking to be an automotive fabricator and welder. That's what I would love to be. So I have a few places in mind.
And any special thanks you'd like to give to any instructors, students, or any of the staff?
Ian and Miguel, you two gave me a lot of hope and a lot of knowledge of what I'm supposed to do or what I want to do. You guys basically guided me to the right way and the right path. So I thank you guys for that.
Yeah, and the instructors I've had, Miguel, Ian, and Larry, they were all very, very helpful, very knowledgeable in this industry and fabrication.
Noah, he was my first contact here. Deidre for her help with kind of getting careers lined up, helping me with my resume. Bridget for her time with my time clock. Miguel and Angel, they were my first instructors here. Ian and Nate, they're my current instructors.
I'd like to thank Ian. He was a great teacher. He taught me a lot. He knows a lot. Miguel, same, great welder, taught me a lot. And same with Larry. He's not here anymore, but he taught me a lot also. Great teacher.
My entire class, honestly, I feel like I am one of the luckiest guys to come to this program. Just from the people who got me the apartment to my entire class to be so welcoming and fun like that, and to my instructors, Ian, Miguel, and Larry. They were by far the best instructors the school has.
I mean, everybody. I love to talk to everybody. Everybody's really cool. Specifically, Ian, Miguel, Larry. Shout out Larry. But yeah, everybody.
Miguel and Ian, big help. Miguel helped me with my welding when I wanted to give up. He was right there, helped me push through it, and now I weld a lot better. Ian, with his little tiny tricks here and there of how to get something in line and how to make something perfect. And Larry, working with the shocks, taught me a lot with the shocks and with the roll cage.
Larry, Ian, Miguel, thank you. You guys are awesome. I really, in my opinion, I paid for you guys, so you guys are awesome, dude.
I have to give thanks to Ian, Larry, Miguel, everybody in my class for being mad respectful, genuine, and all three instructors that I had from the start really just being real and truly there for you in any type of way.
Thank all my instructors, Ian, Larry, Nate, Miguel, Sean, all the instructors really that, taught me something, even if it was the smallest thing, I appreciate their time and their effort.